Your Denver Broncos are on the road in week 2, and so are all of my favorite people. We just crossed over into Indiana about an hour out from the game. We're going to break down a couple of the keys to victory here for the Denver Broncos. We know that the month of October and November are pretty grueling scheduled.
All right. I think the schedule is not an easy schedule. This is a legitimate NFL schedule. Games against Cincinnati that they lost last year, got swept by the Chargers, right? Kansas City home and away, Philly on the road, Packers Super Bowl contender. Dallas looked a heck of a lot better than anyone thought in week 1. I mean, so this is going to be challenging.
This was a game going into the season that we'd all penciled in as a pretty secure W. But we know last week the Indianapolis Colts looked pretty good against the Miami Dolphins. So a couple really big keys to victory here. Remember, it was a year ago last December that the Broncos handed the Colts a pretty devastating loss to not only their playoff potential, but just they had played that game very well, and Jonathan Taylor was walking into the end zone for a touchdown that would have been pretty demoralizing. The Broncos were unable to get the ground game going in that game. Bo Nix was our leading rusher in that game with 23 yards. So as we are looking at keys to victory for the Broncos today, look to see a lot of ball carries with J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. We know R.J. Harvey is one of the leading rookie rushers last week, cranking 70 yards on just a couple of carries there. But look for the Broncos to get the run game going early. And then there's a lot of historic things that the Broncos could do today with the victory. Awesome article here on Sports Illustrated. So if Bo Nix has 24 completions in this game, which we know Sean Payton likes to throw the ball 40-some times, if he has just 24 completions, he will be only the 5th NFL quarterback in history to get 425 completions in his first 19 games. So that would be a pretty cool thing, cool feather in his cap in Lucas Oil. Also just seeing here, if Evan Ingram has 1 reception in this game, he will be the 8th fastest tight end to hit the 500-yard or 500 career completion as a young tight end. So awesome to see Evan Ingram off of the injury report, knowing that he was practicing. I think Sean Payton having that joker in that tight end role is a huge thing. Other cool things here, Mike McGlinchey will reach 100 starts today, being one of the few right tackles to do that. It's been amazing to see the cohesion here with our offensive line and our ability to stay healthy from that Nathaniel Hackett team that was one of the most dinged up teams in football to now being one of the healthiest teams in football, and that's a credit to how Sean Payton runs things. Also seeing here, if Courtland Sutton gets 49 yards receiving, he's going to tie Haven Moses for the 9th most receiving yards in team history. So he is climbing up that, and if Courtland Sutton plays out his entire career with the Denver Broncos, he's going to be one of the leaders, and his name is going to be up there with a Rod Smith and a DT, and he might not ever own our hearts like those guys did, but he is definitely a wide receiver 1, and look for Sean and Bo to connect there, connecting with Courtland Sutton. Other couple things on here that would just be really interesting landmarks is that if Peyton Manning or if Sean Payton gets this victory today, he is going to tie his mentor Bill Parcells and also John Harbaugh for the 15th most regular season wins in NFL history. So a lot on the line this week, and these AFC games matter more than some of our NFC games because our hope is still that the Broncos win the division, and I definitely think that's all out in front of us. But if we don't win the division, it's going to be to make that wild card spot in the AFC. And the more AFC victories you have, that helps with tiebreakers. It puts the Indianapolis Colts kind of behind the 8 ball. And from everything that we've been seeing on Twitter and our conversations this week with Colts creator Derek, they are very hyped up about this Colts team. So we are expecting to be walking into a madhouse of white. But we all got orange on, and we'll be rocking and loud for all of you there. Couple other things on the injury front. Awesome to see John Franklin Meyer, full participant, that he's going to be back.
All right, let's just take a breath and appreciate where we are right now. We're not speculating about rumors and free agency and who might go here and who might we draft. We have football back, and it is so exciting. And to help make this weekend of football watching even more excited, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to this presenting sponsor of this video. We're talking, of course, about DraftKings Sportsbook. And they have a phenomenal offer right now to help us celebrate that football is back. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you have to do is head over to your favorite app store and download the DraftKings app, and then make sure you enter my promo code STDenver and you bet $5 and you get $200 in bonus bets instantly with promo code STDenver. Once you're in, you can check out all the different ways that you can play, like live betting while the game is going on. You can build a same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. So what are you waiting for? Head to the App Store, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and remember, always game responsibly.
I think we definitely need to stop Jonathan Taylor in the run game. So having him back is huge. And then Laiatu Latu's status has not yet been declared as of this game, but I think the less pressure on Bo Nix, the better it's going to be. And as we reported earlier in the week, the Indianapolis Colts are down 2 of their starting cornerbacks. And so look for Sean Payton and Bo Nix to definitely take advantage of that. We know that anytime Bo Nix has thrown the ball for 40 or more times in a game, the Broncos do not win. And so Sean Payton is going to be fighting against himself to rein himself in and run the rock. We know last week the Broncos at one point on the first 17 plays of the game had 14 runs to 3 passes, and that's just not how Sean Payton has won any stop along the way. And so look for Sean Payton to hammer that run game and really hit that home. A couple other keys here is just we saw what Daniel Jones was in New York all of those years, and so my big hope in watching this, and hopefully we see it early, is that Daniel Jones has not played a defense like this. The Miami Dolphins had a players-only meeting after that loss to the Indianapolis Colts, and having a players-only meeting on the first week of football is never a good sign. Mike McDaniels is absolutely on the coaching hot seat. I heard on a national show that he's probably going to be the first coach fired, and so let's hope that we make Daniel Jones look like he did when the New York Giants decided not to move on from him. In the back of my mind, I can't help but thinking of how highly Peyton Manning talked up Daniel Jones as he was coming into the draft, and there's a lot of correlations there with the Colts and or with Peyton Manning and Daniel Jones, and just gushing remarks from him. And so I'm hoping to see a rattled guy, but it is not uncommon in the NFL to see quarterbacks who teams gave up on kind of make a resurgence. And so I'm hoping Daniel Jones playing up against this defense. Interesting, last week the Miami Dolphins blitzed Daniel Jones more than any team ran the blitz, and it wasn't effective. And so I'm hoping that Vance Joseph and this Broncos-led defense is going to throw him something that he hasn't seen, and that offensive line isn't as good as they looked last week. We know they drafted very early and have a very talented offensive line when healthy, but just looking at the injury report, other than Dre Greenlaw, you got everybody rolling for your Denver Broncos, and a lot of guys questionable in game time decisions. So I think that is all definitely in your Denver Broncos favor. We'll be doing a post game right here. I'm just a passenger princess with my main man driving for us, and we've already seen on the highway, seen Broncos fans honking at us, and so we will be loud and shooting video there. But Broncos country, we are about to be 2-0 for the first time since 2021. And that is a fantastic feeling. As always, we've got so much to believe in. Let me know in the comments, what do you think the score prediction is? And then after that, man, we are directly on to the Los Angeles Chargers.